Alright, everybody. I couldn't really sleep. Well, I slept a little bit, but we got high winds out here in Wyoming right now. So it doesn't really, I couldn't sleep. I just haven't, I took like a half-ass nap, excuse me, but that's what I did. And they changed my loads. Actually, I'll go over this with y'all. I'm still picking up at the beef company, same one, but more miles, actually. This one gives me, which I'm happy because it gives me more time because I'm running out of hours. The other one was 1,249 miles. This was 1,488 miles loaded, and still the 451. So it's pretty good, and it gives me till the 15th at 6 a.m. to get it there, and I have till the 12th to pick it up. Right now, I don't have any hours, but on top of that, we've got high winds out here in Wyoming. So, and I'm empty. So I won't move this truck empty with 30-some mile an hour gusts. They got like 30. Last night they were saying up to 40-some mile an hour gusts. I'm listening to the highway thing, but I'm telling you what I'm feeling feels a lot like more than 30-some freaking mile an hour gusts. Hopefully it'll die down between now and tomorrow. This is why I don't like Wyoming, windy Wyoming. And this is one of the other reasons why. And it can get windy on 40, so don't ever get it twisted. Because 40 goes through New Mexico and parts of Arizona. Actually, 40 can get windy a lot of areas along 40. So you have 40 can get windy where it's at Oklahoma, Texas. All along that corridor can get windy because of where it sits. It's in between a lot of little mountains. But what's really known for extreme high winds is Wyoming. Wyoming is like, it's just luck of the freaking draw going through Wyoming, especially at this time of the year. Like last night I got in here and I had a little bit of wind, but nothing like today. And then when I was listening to the Weather Channel coming in, they were talking about today and talking about up to 40-some mile an hour gust. And I'm telling you right now, this truck is rocking. So that's probably, and I have some, let's see if anybody else pulled over. There were a couple trucks, there's a few, looks like they got off the road. So, and my fairing is like this in the back. Fairing, little fairings behind the cab is like this. And then the other thing that tells you the winds are hitting pretty good is when you see the light poles doing this. So if they doing that and I'm empty and I'm high profile, yeah. So I'm not gonna do that like that. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, this is for Santana. You know who you are. New to watching the channel, from what I see, you looked at one of the older videos I did. I can't even remember what the video was about, because after I read your notes in it. Your subject right now, I'm kind of tired, so I know what the video is about, but I don't know right now top of my head, but I know what your topic was. So you actually brought up some things, and I want to, since I'm awake, let me go and address it, because I told you I'd do a video, not that you asked for it, but you brought up some subjects because you're thinking about coming into trucking. And Santana, I wanna address a few things for you. You're talking about the racism because you're a carpenter right now, and what you're dealing with on the racial level. I'm assuming you're probably African American, although you could be Latino because Santana is also a Latino name. Doesn't matter. You're a minority of some sort, some fashion. Guys, I'm gonna be real honest, and we're gonna have a little racial conversation here. Because I've been talking about doing it for trucking for a while, and I haven't really touched on it. First of all, racism exists in America, and so let's get on a real talk. And some people may not like this video, but I'm just going to keep it. My opinion, being a black woman in America, and I hate the word black, I prefer African American because I'm not physically black. My skin is brown. And we have a range of pigmentations in the African American community. I didn't like the word colored. I don't like the word in the sense of what they meant by Negro. And we've changed over time to what has been better qualified. I hate the fact that we're looked at as race, whether you're white or black. And the only group that I'm impressed with, and I don't know how y'all did it, but the Latino community, when you go fill out paperwork, it don't ask you what race you are. It asks you what ethnicity you are. And I think that's something we need to start doing. We need to just write into the box, ethnicity, African American. Don't even check race. Race is human. We're a human race. In America, we've made it a color, and it's going throughout. We're a human race. Your ethnicity is African American. And that is consistent. And the reason I say that is because the American part means that you probably twisted up with a whole bunch of stuff, from slave master raping folks in your family line to Native American to whatever. We now have where you can spit in these little things and send them off. I'm probably going to do that and find out what your heritage is and where you actually originate from, and where mixed in the family line of technology on a medical level has come a long way. But to the racism issue, I've dealt with this not only... battery's getting ready to go down, guys. Hold on. The battery's going. Y'all got to hold on for a second. Battery's going. All right, there you go. I've dealt with this in a lot of forms and fashion. And one way I've dealt with it was in corporate America. And I had it happen to me levels in jobs. It doesn't matter, and you sit there. I've had it happen with applying for things. I've had it happen in trucking. You're going to deal with racism wherever you go. But I think the bigger part is finding a fit for a job that's going to pay you. If they want to make racism in whatever position you have be the number one priority for you making the right kind of money and getting paid what you're worth, then yes, you need to find you another career. And oftentimes, I think people don't, what's the word I want to use? They don't actually find the career that they should get, or should do, and instead they end up, trying to think what the best way to put this is. They end up in something that's not suitable for them. So they end up in careers that maybe has heavy racism, or you can't achieve it. If you're in a job and you've been there for years, unless that's where you want to be, then you aren't dead yet. Plans to do something different. And the one thing about trucking, I would tell you, Santana, one thing I like about trucking is not age restrictive. As we're in companies in corporate America, once you reach your 40s, it becomes harder for you to get jobs and get placed and get hired. They don't hire older people. You start getting aged out. But in trucking, it's total opposite. They prefer usually a more mature person because of what you're handling. Now, right now, they're trying to draw a younger crowd because people are no longer wanting to drive a truck because they don't want to put up with all the trucking company bull crap. I'm going to tell you, you're going to put up with some BS here. And I'm going to tell you, trucking is extremely racist. There was a guy on here, and he's a YouTuber who's popular. He had his father he was interviewing, and his father said something. Father reminds me a little bit of Trucker Bill, because Bill told me when I came in, he says, you have to build a thick skin, and trucking is very racist. You're going to have to get used to him. There's a lot of, and God forgive me, he said rednecks, a lot of racial white folks out there. Bill has done some things where they pissed him off for using the N-word or saying things in truck stops that he didn't agree with, and has done some naughty things back in the old days. Pull a fifth wheel handle, I'm just saying. Make them drop their trailer. That's back in the day, long time ago, not something today. You have to be, it's just the way of our world. And even with the political climate right now, me and my best friend had a talk that a lot of things, and I'm not going to beat up on Trump. I'm not going to beat up on him. And I'm not even going to beat up on Obama. Both of these guys, when they came into office, both came in with stuff. There's aspects of Obama I like and aspects I didn't, President Obama. There's aspects of Trump that I kind of agree with, and a lot of aspects I don't. But what happened, and a lot of people are trying to put it on Trump. I can't put it there because I don't think it started there. When Obama came into office, it did an uproar because you have an African American man in a position in which certain white folks never thought he would be in. And I'm white Anglo-Saxon. European is how they old saying. They didn't think he's going to be in. So those who had racial issues or who wanted to look at his ethnicity and then discriminate against him or be pissed off because this person is in office, you know, it caused a scratch to the underbelly, and a lot of stuff came out. Then when you had President Trump come in and some of the things that he was saying and doing, because he was getting a support system from these people. I don't know if he really thinks that or if he's just doing it because, like I said, I don't know that if he really thinks it or if he's doing it because some stuff you just don't know if he's doing for entertainment value or he just does it for shock value or he's doing it to get people on his side. I don't know. But that underbelly got even more, the racial underbelly just came to the surface more. You know, we have the whole thing with the cops and the abuses to minorities. All of that is coming to the surface more, okay? So to say that it's not happening in trucking, I would be lying to you. Trucking is heavily racial. Now, the plus about trucking now for the Latino community is you guys are extremely prevalent in it. And you are in a lot of positions that are going to help you as far as growing in the industry. This is something that for whatever reason, it draws a heavy Latino community. So you are very prevalent. You're holding very good positions in a lot of trucking companies now. And I believe that the white American people who run the trucking companies did that because of the amount of freight, that comes from Mexico or through Mexico. Also, you get a lot of drivers who are Latino. So, therefore, if you are Latino, you're going to do well. African Americans, we're still running into issues with the racial issue in trucking. And it's the darker pigmentation. It is what it is. Whereas, you know, Latino people, you're more fair skinned. I mean, you're not as white, but some are if you come from Spain. But it's accepted more. I'd rather accept you more than them black folks. You know, that's how they think. But there is still racism in trucking, so don't ever think it isn't. What you want to do is position yourself to get in a company that'll treat you half or better than decent. Where I'm at right now, I'm liking how we're treated. I was concerned because when I first came in, I'd never really seen any African American drivers when I saw these trucks over the road. And when we got there, they had HR lady who's African American. My driver manager is an African American woman. You know, they have minorities in the office. They had a lot of women in the office. I was impressed with that. The HR head is a female. She's from Conway. So I'm very impressed with the number of women in strong positions in this company. I'm impressed with the number of minorities in strong positions, and especially of African American descent in this company. So you can find them. It might not be the big boys. Most of your big boys, the people in charge are going to be white. He's going to be lily white. And that was what this young man's father had said. He said, you know, when you go into these driver dispatchers, what you get is some lily white folks. You get some lily white folks. So, you know, you don't see none of us in the offices. You see far few in between, and if we are, we're not holding significant positions. And I can tell you from the company I came from, that was true. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think right now. I was based in Yoruba for one of the top carriers starter companies. And when I went in that office, I'm going to tell you, the driver managers and customer service people were either white or Latino. I don't know if I didn't see one black person in there that was a driver manager. Not a one. Now, upstairs in student services, there was one African American student coordinator. All the rest of the folks were either white or Latino. And that is like one of the top starter companies as far as numbers. Yeah, I think some folks is pulling over. This wind is caking. Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to sit my butt here until it's died, so I might be overnight. I don't have to pick this up. I actually could do a reset, which might be what I do because I don't have to pick this up until between 3:09 and 3:12. So I might do a reset. Um, but I think trucking is a good field. You're either gonna like it or you're not. It's just they say it gets in your blood. You're gonna like it or you're not. Once you get through the BS of the starter company stuff, and you're gonna have to start with one of the starter companies. If you want to, Santana, go ahead and hit me up on my Trucker Doll Facebook page or truckerdoll@gmail.com. Let me know a little bit more background and when you're looking at going to, to start getting into trucking. And my trucking headhunter does deal with newbies. So if it's something, I mean, she's a former fleet manager for Conway. So if it's something, and Conway does take starters, she may be able to find you a good trucking company with a good training program. And, that's something I really recommend is if you're going to go that route, if you don't want to go out of pocket. You can also check with junior colleges to get your CDL. You are going to have to go out with a starter company. And I really think trying to get with a good starter company is good. If you can probably go like a Prime, Prime's training program, from what I hear, is excellent. I would not go through their lease program right away. I would try to do their company. I know they try to talk you into that lease right out the box, but I just really believe everybody should start company first. I think doing lease right off is hard because what if you don't like it? What if it's not a fit for you? Y'all, I'm in my holy shirt because my best shirt. What if it's not a fit for you? Or what if you don't like that particular company? What if you're looking for something else? So I don't know that lease is the way I would go coming out. I'm happy I went company. And if I still decide to go lease, depends on what I'm making. Because right now, I'm impressed with how they're running us. And if I can bring in close to $7,000 a month, that's like 80-some thousand a year. I'm straight. I might still go owner op, but I might stay company for a year or 2 years. Hey, also to make sure all the quirks are done in this truck. And I like this truck. I really do. I love the way it rides. I really do. Storage is the only issue I have with it, but I'm happy that if I have to fight with storage just to get a refrigerator on here, I'm happy, and I put a microwave on here. Plus I have TV and DirecTV, so yeah, let's see how much change I have, because I might wash tonight, as I do need some laundry. I might not be able to wash everything, but I may wash a load here. This wind is kicking, I don't know, because I really don't feel like going out there dealing with that damn wind. Yeah, so I'm going to strongly suggest you, what's the word I want to use? Reach out to me and let me know. Anybody else on here, if you guys are thinking about coming into trucking and you watch this for that reason, or you've been suggested, because like I said, Jackie was suggested to contact me. I think she said she thought it was Jose, but I have a couple other people who I know on other groups who watch the channel, and I didn't know if Jose was on any of Facebook, but maybe he is. And I haven't talked to him in a minute. I have to catch up with him, make sure he's okay, because I haven't heard from him, and I think he changed his channel, so I got to find out where's his new channel. You please reach out to me. I'm happy to give you any information and help you out, but racism is alive and well in trucking. It's not non-existent. You can sit at a truck stop and hear it. I was standing in line at the Petro in Ontario, California, and this old white trucker started talking to me, and instantly, and the sad part is, some don't even realize they're racist. Some don't realize they really, truly, they think the way they think is normal. It's with the area they grow up in. They don't think they're being offensive. They don't think they're racist. There's some people who are racist as hell and don't even know it. Prejudiced as hell and don't even know it. So, but in the trucking industry, you're dealing with a lot of prejudice, racism, discrimination, and the other thing is you got a lot of good buddies. So now the good buddies aren't going to help. They're going to help their white buddies because that's who they're buddies with. So therefore, they're not looking at diversity, maybe in the trucking area as far as you driving, but in their corporate offices, they're not looking at that. They're placing buddies, and most of their buddies are going to be this. They're not going to be us. And like I said, the only group that I'm seeing that has significantly moved in the trucking industry and positions and titles is a Latino community. They're holding some major titles. Matter of fact, that is one of my goals. I'm going to be teaching myself Spanish. If you do come out here, I'm going to find this old saying: you get more bees. You get more. I think bees or flies with honey, or honey instead of vinegar. So it's best that you learn some of the culture, because what I found is that if you're on the border towns and you speak Spanish or you're Latino, they put them first. They take care of their culture first. But also, if you speak the language, that you'll get a little bit of favor. So, you got to work the system to your advantage, and that's something I'm going to do, because trucking is a now heavy. There's a heavy Spanish influence in it. There's a heavy Latino influence, and nothing wrong with learning another language. Like I said, my sister is married to a Latino guy. My brother-in-law is Mexican. My brother's her brother is dating a Latino girl. That he says he's in love with, so they might end up getting married. So this wind is whipping. Okay, is this my guy again? I think it's the same truck. He parked next to me earlier. It's the same dude. Yeah, they pulling in left and right now. This wind is whipping. Anywho, be blessed, guys. 2 and 2.